Welcome back, everybody. Abioyo here, continuing his journey through Hades, the what I keep calling gold standard of roguelike dungeon crawlers. Last time we tried our best at our very first escape attempt, and we couldn't even make it past the first boss. And them's the breaks. So we're back here at the House of Hades, and we have to talk to everybody. Every time you come back here, you need to talk to every single NPC that you can find, especially the ones that have exclamation points above their head. That means they have dialogue that you have not heard before.
Welcome to the House of Hades, where... Wait, I know you. Guess that means you died out there, huh? Well, don't be sad, though. Pretty much everybody dies sometime.
So here we have Hypnos, Sleep Incarnate.
Some of us more than others.
Back already?
And here we have the big man himself.
Stupid boy. I told you nobody gets out of here, whether alive or dead. So how was your wanton ransacking of my domain?
Hades, god of the dead.
Greetings, Father. My ransacking was a delight, thank you for asking. So I'll just be on my way again.
And we are Zagreus, his son, Prince of the Underworld.
Be on your way indeed. What do I care? You shall never reach the surface. Go, see for yourself.
And so what we are trying to do is escape the Underworld. Why? We do not know yet. And here, for anyone who's a fan of Greek mythology, we have Cerberus, the three-headed hound of hell, who we can also talk to.
Infernal watchdog Cerberus regards the underworld prince with mixed emotions, from purest joy to deepest melancholy.
You watch over things for me, won't you, boy? You know I'd take you if I could.
Excuse me, I keep coughing. You can also pet Cerberus,
There's a good boy.
which if you just started out,
Bane's concern for you.
excuse me, if you've just started out and you're playing this on either PlayStation, which I am, or Xbox, I recommend you pet him every time you make it back to the House of Hades, because there is a trophy for doing it 10 times.
You've returned. Good to see you, lad, despite the circumstances. Remember your training out there. The pain of death is but another obstacle.
And here we have Achilles. So again, if anyone's a fan of Greek, well, in this case it's not mythology because he was a real person. If you've ever read the Iliad, then you know all about Achilles, great war hero in the War of Troy, Trojan War.
And fear is for the weak. Take care, Achilles.
Again, every time you get this little glowing dot, it's a little backstory location.
The House of Hades, that dark and lavishly appointed lair of the underworld's king, is home not just to him, but to his willful progeny.
You know I can hear you, old man.
Ha ha ha. Hypnos fell asleep again. Oh.
I'm up.
You have come home.
And here we have a lovely lady.
Do not despair, child. Such setbacks are inevitable and may be overcome with effort and with time. You made contact with the goddess Athena. She shall be true to her word.
I believe it, Nyx. I'm grateful that you put us into contact. I know you took a considerable risk in reaching out.
The risk is not to me. I expected the Olympians would involve themselves in this eventually. Reveal to them no more than they already know. Are we understood?
So here we have Nyx, which is Night Incarnate.
Yes, we are.
Then go.
Can't go past that gate just yet.
Hey, room. I'm back.
And here we have my room.
The bedchambers of Prince Zagreus lie in a perpetual state of utter disarray, despite his lord and master of the house repeatedly insisting that he pick everything up.
Oh, come on. It's not that bad, is it?
So use the mirror to grow stronger. This mirror is going to be extremely important for most of the game, because
Night and darkness guide me.
this is where we can spend darkness to gain bonuses. Right now we have Shadow Presence, which deals extra damage to while striking foes from behind. We've got Chthonic Vitality, which gives us heals us every time we exit a chamber, not enter. We have what might be arguably the most important one of the game, Death's Defiance, which, when I die, restores 50% of my health. And I can get multiple of these. Or what might be arguably the only upgrade that ties with Death's Defiance, Greater Reflex, which gives us an extra dash, which is extremely important considering that dashes make us invincible for a brief period of time, so the more of these I have, the much easier the game gets. I can also spend Chthonic Keys to reveal 2 new talents, which we will be doing much later. So the question right now is, do I want to spend my 30 darkness on Death's Defiance, or do I want to save up to get Greater Reflex? Greater Reflex is extremely important. In fact, you might have noticed in my last video, anytime I got hit was basically because I was assuming I had 2 dashes and then forgetting that I'm back at the beginning and only have 1 now. I'm so used to having 2. But Death's Defiance is also incredibly good. So since I already have the 30 darkness, I think I'm just going to go ahead and pick up one of these. And notice I can get another rank, but that's 500 darkness. So it's going to be quite a while before we get a second one.
Feeling good.
And here we have my weapons. It starts with the Stygian Blade. I've got a spear, a shield, and a bow. And they all take Chthonic Keys to unlock. And these are what I'm going to be spending these keys on first, before I even touch the mirror. And since I already have, well, 2 keys, let's go ahead and spend 1 on the bow. You might already notice that this shield is glowing purple. We'll talk about that once it becomes relevant. And it will become very relevant.
There we go. Coronacht, the Heartseeker. Let's deal some death. Psst, over here. What the?
Huh?
I can escape.
Nice place you got here, boyo. Name's Skelly, how's it going? But enough with the small talk already. I'm here to do a job. So let me have it. Give me everything you got.
So I cut Zagreus off there, but he was just explaining he can escape through the purple door down there in the bottom right. But here we have Skelly, our training dummy.
I don't remember having you on payroll, mate. Who's your supervisor?
Oh, I'm not about to wrap my sources, pal. Just try and beat it out of me.
If you insist.
So Skelly is exactly as described, our training dummy. He is here so that we may test out each of these weapons and kind of get better with some of the skills, and every time we pick up a weapon it tells us what our abilities are. We can hold square to fire, we charge up, and then we can release.
Wow.
We can hit the special button, triangle, to do a volley fire, which is good with multiple enemies around. If we release square when it flashes, we do a power shot.
Nice.
So notice how it did, that was 70. If I do it normally, that's 60, so we do 10 extra damage. Or if we dash and hit square as we're dashing, we can do a dash strike, which in the case of the bow, just charges faster. See?
You call that a hit?
But does a little bit less damage. 50 as opposed to, well, 70. This right here we will talk about later. Don't worry about that. We can come down here though for a little dialogue.
I can do this. First get past the wretched shades of Tartarus. Easier said than done. And doubtless I'll be running into Meg. The River of Flame ought to be just beyond. Find a way up to Elysium from there, and after that... Alright. Let's give it another shot.
And it tells us how far we've gotten. 15 chambers deep.
Again.
So we're going to try with the bow now.
Thunder. Is this really him? Okay. In the name of Hades, Olympus, I accept this message.
So who has thunder? And lightning.
Greetings there, young man. Look, your father's always been rather difficult, and he's not so much as called in quite some time. You'll have a better home where you belong, here on Olympus. And to help you on your journey, have my blessing.
So, for those who do not know, in Greek mythology, there is not one god, but many. And they all live upon Olympus save for one, Hades. Hades presides over the underworld. The rest on Mount Olympus, and are headed by their king, Zeus, who is the god of thunder and lightning. Which is displayed in his boons. They're all based on lightning. So it gives your attack an extra 10 damage, and it emits chain lightning, which bounces among the foes. Same for your special, and same for your cast. Which I actually might take this time. The cast is really good, that bounces around. If you can, like, buff it with palms, or, you know, other boons that benefit it. The flourish is really good, because your special causes a lightning bolt. Well, when you my special with the bow fires like 7 different little arrows in an arc, each one of them triggers thunder flourish. So that's really good. And then lightning strike is also very good just because the attack is very good in general. So adding a chain lightning effect to that is extra decent. I think I'm going to go with thunder flourish though, just because it's hard to ignore that.
Uncle Zeus lending his support. Never thought I'd see the day. Or night. Whenever.
Thunder Flourish is really good to, really hard to ignore that buff of, oops, it triggering multiple times. Also, I love the ongoing joke that you can never tell what time of day it is in the underworld.
Composed of such innumerable, ever-shifting, interlocking chambers, the underworld of Lord Hades all but guarantees the dead shall there remain until the end of time.
Good thing I'm not dead.
Alright, so let's see if we can get these guys. So I mentioned how I almost never go for the gold rooms. Well, here we have no choice.
Here I am. Right. Coin from the dead.
So this special is very good to get right up in my enemies' faces, and then every single one of the arrows hit them. And since each one deals thunder damage, it makes for a really good combo. But it is dangerous because you're so close to everybody. See how much damage that one attack did though? I'm like two-shotting everybody.
This can unlock something back home.
We're going to be going for keys over a lot of things for the beginning because we really want to unlock all the weapons as fast as possible. Wow, that was a triple kill. Somehow.
Keep them coming.
Nice. So this right here, I can't remember if we even came across one in my last video and I just completely ignored it, is called a
Let's see what's in here.
Well of Charon, and it offers 3 random mini bonuses that do like one-time effects such as heal you, or you can gain a random item, or temporary bonuses like this. It deals 50% damage to armor, but it only lasts for 6 encounters. And there's a difference between encounters and chambers. See, as it says down there, encounters are the dangerous kind. Underworld chambers where you must slay foes to proceed. There are chambers that don't have any foes. Well, they do not count down anything that triggers off of encounters. But I don't really want any of these. We're not going to have a whole lot of armor. I'm doing pretty good, so I'm not going to waste my money. I actually have a little bit of money this time, so might actually spend it on stuff later.
Back to dust.
God, only having one dash is really brutal.
Cries of battle.
You wield Coronach, the Heartseeker. It pierced 3 titans in one shot back in the war amongst our kind. Please do take care of it.
So again, if you don't know anything about Greek mythology, before the gods of Olympus were the Titans. The Titans gave birth to the gods. The gods then waged war on the Titans to bring order to the world. The Titans were ruling the world in complete chaos. And guess who came up on top? So here we got, can change my cast, not gonna do. Can do Curse of Vengeance again. Or what I'm probably gonna pick, Urge to Kill, which just raises everything by 10%. It's just a nice, like, I don't know what you want to call it, underlying boon. Just makes everything stronger, so it's nice to take and kind of forget about.
Violence.
Here we got a fun one. And it's also a mini boss room.
Tombstone. This is great.
So if you're paying attention, this Doomstone shoots lasers all around the room, and it spawns little mini enemies. And there's a laser that connects the enemies together or connects it back to the original Doomstone. So you have to kind of balance killing these little mini rocks and damaging the main enemy until it's dead.
One less giant evil crystal then.
Because once you kill the Doomstone, it kills the rest.
That was revelry? People having a good time? Well, sure then. In the name of Hades, Olympus, I'll accept this message.
Hey there, Zagman. How's it going? Look, you have got to get here with the rest of us already. We've been saving you a spot. Let me see what I can do. Make life a little sweeter for you in the meantime.
So there we've got Dionysus, the god of wine and revelry. Yes, that was a thing in Greek mythology. And he has, appropriately, Hangover as his mechanic. Hangover is a debuff that deals damage every 0.5 seconds for however long, for 4 seconds, excuse me. And it can stack up to 5 times. He also has things that let you affect your life total. So I can either give Hangover to my attack, to my dash, and it affects several times, triggers several times, or I can make it so I take 40% less damage, or 20% less damage, excuse me, when my health is below 40%. So, the way Hangover works, since it can stack up to 5 times, you want to put it on something that attacks quickly. We're not going to do Drunken Strike because my attack is very slow and I just kind of attack every so often. I'm never going to get 5 stacks on anybody with this, with the bow. There are weapons that do attack quickly, in which Drunken Strike is great. But, and since I also don't expect to be below 40% health very often, since I'm cocky like that, I'm going to go with Drunken Dash.
Leave it to the god of wine to liven things up around here.
So that makes it so now when I dash, it makes 3 stacks of Hangover wherever I dashed from.
Damned lost souls with nowhere left to turn congregate in deepest Tartarus, where they fuse together with the earth itself into odious forms which defy description.
They basically turn into big crystals.
Here we got some darkness coming our way. And there we got a pile of numbskulls. Just spawns the little skull guys over and over again. Oop. Oh, that was embarrassing.
Some darkness.
Okay, so these here, you can get some one-time benefits of some resources. So for example, I can spend 18 obol to get 24 darkness, or 28 obol to get 11. Those are gemstones, which will become relevant. But these are really good, really early. You're not going to spend a whole lot of money on like your boons and stuff like that. So these are permanent resources that you can spend on permanent upgrades. So they're very good at the beginning of the game.
Looks handy.
So I'm going to get both. And I think for 3 chambers I get an extra 10% health since I just took 15 from that one guy. I think I might as well go ahead and get this. So now I got an option. I can go to a store, or I can get gemstones in a mini boss room, which we're gonna do. Notice I'm afflicting Hangover on this guy, so it just deals damage over time until they die.
Gemstones. Mine now.
So now I can go for a Centaur Heart or a Palm of Power. Health is best in almost all scenarios.
What a fight.
Ah. Again, I am not expecting to succeed and make it all the way through this escape attempt. In fact, I'm not going to be expecting to do that for quite a while. See if there's anything in the well.
Should be something useful here.
Foes can sometimes drop food, which you can eat to gain health, or the next boon I find it will immediately be upgraded, or gain an extra cast, which I never use. And this is also not great because the boon since you get 3 random boons, and this will randomly upgrade one of those 3, the one that it affects is not guaranteed to be the one you would pick anyway. So, you know, 2 out of 3 times, you really want, say, boon X, but it upgrades boon Y, and so you don't even pick the one that it upgraded. So I don't like this. This is good if I was hurting more than I am now, so I'm not going to spend money on anything. Now, here's an interesting debate. Well, not so much, but I do want to mention that getting an entire fresh boon, something, a benefit from scratch, is always better than making one of your pre-existing boons better. So we're gonna go for this. Oh boy.
In the name of Hades.
Alright, so I can make it so my attack inflicts doom. I can make it so after I use my Death's Defiance, so after I quote-unquote die, and then respawn with the Death's Defiance that I have saved up, then I deal 15% more damage for the rest of that particular encounter, or the Curse of Vengeance again. I think this one's pretty easy, but Curse of Vengeance is good if you plan to get hit a lot, which I don't, and neither should you. Blood Frenzy, same idea. If you plan to die, then pick Blood Frenzy, but I never plan to die, so I don't like picking that one. And then this, I want to mention that Doom is like, it's the opposite of Hangover in that Hangover, you want to put on something that deals many attacks at once. It's a really quick weapon, so that you can build up those stacks. Doom is the exact opposite in that it's better on weapons that are very slow, because it just has to trigger that one time, and then it deals that, in this case, 50 damage in a second or so. So putting this on my attack is much better than, say, Hangover.
Now what?
So again, second time you see a shop means we're about to fight the boss, and whatever room is opposite the shop is a freebie. There are going to be no enemies here.
That's life.
So let's see if we can kill Meg this time.
Hi, Meg.
Ever stubborn, aren't you? Maybe my whip might make you reconsider whatever it is that you're attempting here.
Your whip's not been all that persuasive in the past.
Maybe persistence will pay off for both of us. Come then.
Something I like about the bow is how ranged gives you a little bit of a benefit. So she can also do that, where she, oh crap, occasionally spawns little areas underneath you that explode in damage. Alright, let's kill some of these minions. Dang it, I'm doing terribly. I think I'm gonna die again. Hey, we did it. Consider that revenge for the first attempt.
I did it. The ancient blood.
And so we get
Achilles might know what to do with this.
Titan's Blood, which is a bounty. And the way bounties work, okay, is there are 4 regions in this game. Each region is spearheaded by a boss at the end. And each one of those bosses gets you a special resource that's very hard to come by. You can only get it from fighting those bosses. Each one gives you something different. Sort of. And furthermore, you only get each bounty on each boss once for each weapon. So this is why it specified on that little pop-up that I beat Megara with the bow. Because the next time I beat Megara with the bow, I will not get a Titan's Blood. I'm going to get something else. In fact, I'm going to get Darkness. So you might be thinking, well, does that mean there's a finite amount of these resources? And I'll get into that.
How did you...
later.
Don't mind me, Father.
So, once you beat any boss, you get to like this little middle room.
None other than those in the trusted inner circle of Lord Hades are authorized to enter the intricate chambers connecting the vast regions of the underworld. But the prince decides to barge in anyway.
I barge where I please.
And these rooms have 3 things to begin with. First, it's got something we haven't seen before, which is a fountain. Fountains always restore a certain amount of health. Once you use the fountain, you unlock the other 2. The first one being
Can wash away my boons.
a pool of purging, which lets you sell 1 or 2 or 3 random boons for gold. Since I don't think I want to get rid of any of these, well, to be fair, Drunken Dash isn't doing me a whole lot of favors. Drunken Dash is good if you're like right up on people's faces, right? Because when you dash away, excuse me, then that hangover stays and deals them damage. But I'm playing with a bow, so I'm gonna be far away from them when I dash, excuse me, to begin with. So I might get rid of it, because 155 gold is a lot. I'm gonna keep these other 2. Yeah, I think I'm gonna get rid of this, actually.
It's cold.
And the third thing is another Well of Charon. Which, look at that, I can get some treasure. And I could get some jerky that makes my special deal 40 damage for 6 rooms. So that's pretty good. I think I might get that. And I might get this since I have less than half my health. So I think I'm gonna get everything.
Never been this far. Cheers.
So we have made it past Tartarus and moved to the 2nd region.
Now we're getting somewhere.
Asphodel.
The once verdant plains of Asphodel are now engulfed in scintillating flame, having been flooded by the river Phlegethon, whose hideously superheated contents could bring death swiftly even to those resistant to most heat.
I'm only flame resistant, not flame proof.
And you can always come over here to get a little more backstory.
It's nice and warm out here, I'll give it that.
Well, maybe not backstory as much as just funny quips. But Asphodel is characterized by the River of Flame, the River Phlegethon. We do not want to step in that. If we step in that, it starts dealing 1 damage to us every like 0.2 seconds. And after like 3 or 4 tick marks, it ups to 2 damage every 0.2 seconds. And then 3, and then 4, until we're dead. Point is, don't step in the lava. And it also has a lot of projectile spitting dudes. Something I never mentioned is your ability to dash over things or through things. Oh crap. Hang on, I gotta... Oh, well. So there we got our first Death's Defiance. We just lost all of our health, but came right back with 50% left. Alright, let me focus though. There we go.
They're finished.
And we got a key. Yeah, so like, you can dash through things, like this. See? Dash right through that table, and you can dash over lava. Like that. Oh, sweet, another key.
Off we go.
Hopefully we can make it through this room. Don't think I'm gonna make it too much farther. I'd be surprised if I make it to the boss.
Bone rakers.
Oh, these guys suck. So these guys, in the same way that you can stun lock enemies, they can stun lock you with those sweeping claw strikes.
This to unlock a weapon.
Huzzah. So health or a shop. So now this is a case where I could get extra health, but there's going to be a fight attached to it. Whereas I could go to the shop, not have to fight any enemies, and I actually have a good chunk of change that I could spend on, say, a centaur heart. Or sometimes there'll be healing items. So I think I'm actually going to go with the shop this time. Just to avoid the fight.
Must be something I can use.
So who is our shopkeeper? It is Charon, who is the Stygian boatman. So, to get into the Greek mythology again, when you die, you are ferried down the river Styx. And who is it that rows you to the underworld? It is Charon.
Why, good to see you, Charon, mate. Just minding my own business, taking in the sights, and hey, what's that you got? Some sort of wares for sale? And I'll just have a look around.
So, oh, wait.
The searing flame and ashes of the river Phlegethon mean nothing to the ferryman Charon, who travels all the waters of the underworld bearing the dead, the damned, and all their fineries.
I do enjoy dead people's fineries.
So he's got a bunch of different stuff. It's always 3 different options, and it's always random. I can get an Athena boon, a Palm of Power, or some darkness. Always want to get the resource if you have the option.
Should help keep me going.
So that's an easy pick. I've got 289 left, so I could afford both of these. I might as well go ahead and get them. And if I'm going to get both, then I want to get the boon first, so that way my Palm of Power has more options to upgrade. Oh, these are all not great. That's the problem. Magma counts as a trap, so this would reduce damage from any lava I accidentally step in. But I think I'm gonna go with this just because it deals damage to people around me.
Pleasure doing business.
And since I do Thunder Flourish more than anything else, let's go with that. Got a mini boss room here, so fingers crossed. Ah.
Why, it's the Barge of Death.
Which features my favorite song in the game. Alright. So this has got these guys. Fortunately, oh, never mind, there it goes. You notice those blue stones give off a blast. that makes any enemies around them invulnerable. They are very annoying.
Good.
See, he cannot be damaged. Now he can.
Just a bit longer. Not a scratch.
Hang on. Sorry, I didn't know if you could hear that, but I had to sneeze there. Aha. Ow. Well, he died in the magma. Ooh. He's about to do the same. Oh, never mind. Went away. So if you take too long in any room in Asphodel, then little balls of lava spurt out from the river and leave little pools on the ground.
In the name of Hades.
Oh my gosh. So, here's something important. Duo boons. Every 2 gods combined have a chance to grant you a duo boon. In this case, you can tell by the yellow and red. This is the duo boon of Zeus and Ares. Each one is unique, and they're hard to come by. This one in particular, as you can read, makes it so my revenge effects sometimes occur without taking damage, and they happen every 3 seconds, which is pretty good. I don't even know what revenge do I... Oh, I have Holy Shield, that's why. So what that means is it'll trigger Holy Shield just every 3 seconds, no matter what. It is very good. Duo boons are usually some of the strongest in the game if you can get them, and this is a good one. But I only have one revenge, and it's like the worst revenge ability in the game, the Holy Shield. Everybody else's is better. And Static Discharge is extremely good, especially considering that the thing that I have with lightning effects is my special, and my special deals damage all around me. So that means I can jolt like 3 or 4 people at one time, and so the next time they attack, this is what Jolted does, it deals 114 damage. So that combined with a Thunder Flourish is really good. So like I'm pretty sure, and the fact that it's epic, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna pick that over Vengeful Mood, weirdly. It feels so weird to pick anything over a duo boon. Especially considering this video, I want to pick it just so you can see what it does, what duo boons do. But we're going to be going on and on and on, so let's try to get as far as we can. That might have been wrong, but I don't know. Where is everybody? Aha! See, they just took 114 damage. Oop. See? So, this is really good. Ow. Ow.
You like that, you gods?
Look at you, Zagreus. You're barely fit to fight from all the injury that you've sustained. I'll try to keep you going for as long as possible.
So here we got Divine Dash again, which is arguably my favorite Athena boon. It's my favorite Athena boon in general. One of my favorite builds to make includes a different Athena boon. But in general, I like this one. Or I can just resist all damage by 5%. I think we're gonna go with this. Being able to deflect is just so strong. So do I want a key, do I want darkness, or do I want gemstones? And notice this one has a little skull on it, so that means it's a mini boss room. That also means you would get more of whatever resources pictured than you normally would. So let's say, for example, this was darkness. Normally, if you've been paying attention, I get 10 darkness on these rooms. But if it's a mini boss room, I believe I get 20. I believe I get double. But since I can't even use gemstones yet, and I really want to unlock the weapons as quickly as I possibly can, I'm gonna go with this.
Burn flingers.
Nice. Also nice. Ah! Lava.
Key to a weapon.
Alright, so now we got Ares, a shop, or a Palm of Power. And I think this is the first shop I've come by, so I'm not gonna see... Or this is not gonna be a freebie. Oh, nope, I was wrong. This is a freebie.
Olympus, I accept this message.
Alright, so we can do cast as a Blade Rift, don't want that. Dire Misfortune is pretty good. It only appears if I have something that triggers Doom, and it makes it so that it deals more damage when it stacks, which is usually pretty good, because this is the biggest problem with Doom, is that it's only the one-time effect, right? So say you have it on a fast striking weapon, well, when you attack a bunch, you know, you hit once, and then Doom starts, but it doesn't actually trigger for like a good second or second and a half. And on a fast weapon, you can get like 3 or 4 hits in that time, but the Doom doesn't do any extra damage. Well, with Dire Misfortune, it does. Or we can do Battle Rage, which is actually better with this weapon than it was with the last one, because the Stygian Blade is kind of fast attacking. Whereas this one, it's like one big attack with the shot, you know, bow shot, or the flourish. So this one could actually be pretty good. In fact, I think I'm gonna pick it because you can't attack very much before Doom triggers with the bow because it's so slow.
It's me or them.
Having traversed the flaming river Phlegethon to gain this vantage point, relentless Zagreus must now confront a foe of unimaginable savagery, who lies ahead, awaiting patiently its time to strike.
Way to spoil the surprise, old man.
Alright, so here we have, you might notice an unrecognized image here. If we beat the boss, I'll talk about it. Our second boss. The boss of Asphodel.
Hello?
Which is a Lernaean Bone Hydra. So he, as you can tell, is tethered back here, but can extend pretty far. Slams his head on the ground for some AoE, and shoots little lasers at you that can be deflected. Of course, this is only phase 1. This is very good boss to be fighting with the bow, because you can just kind of stand back. And then once this happens, in true Hydra fashion, they summon more heads. Notice how some of the heads look different? They all have different effects. This one shoots little laser beams with the little 2 prongs. The 2 prongs with the little bubbles on the sides launch lava, well, bubbles. And the blue guy slams on the ground a lot. And also notice he's become invulnerable, impervious. And he will stay like that until you kill these heads. There we go. There's 1 down. And also the heads are armored. 2. And 3. You can also hide behind the pillars from this particular bow Hydra. So now we get this next phase, which is not 3, but 6 extra heads. So again, if you know anything about Greek mythology, I'm going to be saying that a lot. Nope, well, never mind. I was going to say, the thing about the Hydra was when you cut one of its heads off, 2 more spawn in its place. So when you kill those first 3 heads, well, later 6 appear.
I'll get that Hydra.
So not bad for a second attempt. We made it all the way to Asphodel. We even made it all the way to the boss of Asphodel. I did not think that was gonna happen. I think I'm gonna call it for this though. I'm running out of time. So on the next video we're gonna talk to everybody in the house and hopefully upgrade enough to where we can make it even farther next time. But until then,